What is up, guys? So KTM, what are you doing? We all saw what happened with Chase Sexton. He had a front wheel issue, and I'm going to show you the information that kind of proves that. And I just don't like when they cover up stuff. Just tell us what happened. It's okay. I'm going to break down the bigger issue with KTM and why they're having so many failures. It's a systemic problem with bad management. And the Canadian Nationals, I've been following them this year, and I'll tell you what, they have some fast dudes up there, and Phil Nicoletti, he ended up being your champion. And he wasn't the fastest dude, but he got it done. So Phil's kind of old. He needs to get some Nano-Extreme. That will help him on days after the races. He's over 30. You start to ache a little bit, Phil. So get yourself some Nano-Extreme. Use code Cooksey and get free shipping, and help those aches and pains the day after the race. Head over to Complete Racing Solutions. Coach Rob's got programs for everybody, and they're specifically for you. They're not a one-size-fits-all. Vet racers, you got to work. He does a program around that. Youth, kids who can spend their whole day training, he's got a program for you. So head over to Complete Racing Solutions and let Coach Rob dial you in. So the AJ Wright's Crypto and V-Chain giveaway was supposed to end, but they're going to the UFC event this weekend with Dricus du Plessis fighting Khamzat Chimaev. I will smash them. They're going to make the announcement shortly after that, but you can still enter. So mob members, I'm telling you, I want one of you guys to win it. Get over there, flood the entries. There was about 15,500 entries. If we can get another 15, yeah, we'll win this. We got enough people. Just go over there and enter, and we will win the $42,000, the Tesla, or some other stuff. All I ask is you cut me in on my 10%. No, just kidding. Don't worry about it.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
So KTM issued a press release regarding Chase Sexton's bike failure. What they're claiming happened is debris got into the rear brake, so he grabbed the front brake upon takeoff, and that's why the front wheel wasn't moving, and that the front wheel didn't lock up until the right side handlebar hit the ground. Yeah, I call BS. That's not what happened. You can clearly see this wheel, as he takes off, it's not locked up. It locks up about 3 feet into his flight. And I do a little screenshot right here, and you can see his hand is clearly not on the front brake. How did he hit the brake if he doesn't have his hand on the brake? And then you see the wheels start turning when he hits the ground, but when the bike bounces, it almost stops again. It's wedged. Something's going on with the caliper or inside the brake. That is not Chase Sexton's fault. It had nothing to do, the rear brake might have went out, but that wasn't what caused this failure. Maybe he grabbed the front brake too hard and broke a piston. I have no idea. But what they're telling you happened didn't happen, and I have to ask why. And now, whether they're lying about it or not, these things happen in the sport. Parts break. But KTM and the Pierre Group has had some major quality control issues. Both gas riders, Casey Cochran and Ryder DeFrancesco, sustained serious injuries earlier in the year due to part failures of their bikes on Supercross tracks. It was nasty. So I spoke with someone inside the Pierre Group brands who deals in warranty, customer service type stuff. And what I heard was alarming. And what bothered me wasn't necessarily that they have bike issues. Dirt bikes have issues, but it's the complete disregard for the consumer that bothered me. So apparently, when a bike has a bunch of problems, becomes a lemon, they buy it back. And then they take that bike, and whenever someone else has warranty work, they strip the parts. So a lot of times, when you get a warranty job done from KTM, Gas, Husqvarna, you're getting used parts back on your bike. That's not right. You combine this with, during their financial struggles, they've been well documented how certain suppliers haven't got paid, and they've lost so many of their good employees. A lot of their good employees who were involved in quality control have been poached, gone to other places, and left. Now they're left with the garbage, and it's not good. The quality control is just, it's an all-time low at the Pierre Group, KTM. Some of their long-time suppliers who make high-quality parts, they're not using them because they owe them money, so they're going to outside suppliers. Buyer beware when you get a Pierre Group motorcycle. You don't know what you're going to get. Yeah, there's a good chance you're going to get a really good bike, but there's also a good chance it's going to have a weak piston pin or something that's just something they skimped on. And that sucks, man. That sucks as a consumer to know you could buy this expensive motorcycle marketed on high quality, race ready, and it's not. It's not. It breaks. And then they replace your warranted parts with used parts. That sucks. And the race team, they don't usually use OEM parts. They have their own departments, but they still have the same factories make the parts, even if they're different. And the quality control issues that the consumers are feeling, it's obviously hitting the race team. Look how many little failures, Gas, KTM, they have these failures that shouldn't be failures because their supplier's quality control sucks, or their quality control sucks. And for me, the bigger problem isn't, necessarily that they have a problem. It's that they're covering up a problem and pretending like it doesn't exist. You can never fix one of these issues if you don't realize you have a quality control issue. If you just say, oh no, that was just a rear brake dirt got in it. You're not gonna go look at who inspected all the brakes if you cover it up. Because if you do, then it shows that you did cover it up. If you write it off as dirt was in the caliper and then nobody looks, of course somebody else is gonna have a brake failure issue and have something. But they don't seem to care, and that's a problem. This guy, John Hines, he rallies these people, tells them quality control's up, and basically sends his crew on a submarine with a screen door, all because they understand that they've blown the money that was needed to have the quality control that the brands are known for. John Hines, Robert Pierce, and some of these ego-driven executives put sales numbers over quality control. They overbought, they spent all the money, and Pierre himself, they've all just ruined this company. But they're putting on a show on top at the sales floor. The bikes are looking good, but behind the scenes, they're using used parts. They're having supplier issues and weak parts and things that you shouldn't have to have on these type of bikes. It's dangerous. And the fact that they'll even cover it up on the race team, that's alarming. I was never gonna mention any of this stuff. As soon as I saw the cover up with Chase Sexton, I'm like, wait a second, come on. That didn't happen. We saw what happened. There was some sort of a front caliper issue. Front caliper issues are dangerous. Rear caliper issues are dangerous, not as. If that front wheel locks up, you can seriously hurt somebody. So that's why they didn't want to admit it. So you take a look at it and you tell me, do you honestly think that front wheel stopped on its own with his hand not on the brake and there was no issue with it? I don't know. You tell me. If you need to ship anything, hit up Precision Transport. That's pretransport.com, a family-owned business that really believes in customer service and getting your stuff there. Hit up pretransport.com. Alias MX Gear 25.5. It's out. You better hurry. It's going fast. Head over to aliasmx.com and then ride strapped if you want any of the shirts, the Industry Outsider. The shirt I'm wearing is for 12-month members. If you've been a member for 12 months, email me your screen name, address, and shirt size, and I'll get one out to you. How about grumpy Phil Nicoletti, retired last year from the sport? This is one of the good guys. He's grumpy, he's authentic, he's just a good dude. If you've ever met Phil, Phil seems like he's angry, but I don't know, I get along really good with guys like Phil, because if he's mad at you, he's not gonna fake it and you're gonna not sure. He'll let you know so you can fix the issue. I like being around people like that. It's transparency. He genuinely has a good heart. And man, he had one heck of a racing career down here. He had some really good finishes. And when you talk about a rider who overcame and pushed through and never was the most talented, but he always seemed to make it happen, that's Phil Nicoletti. So when I heard he's coming out of retirement to go race in Canada, I'm like, I don't know, man. When you see a guy have a long career and get out somewhat healthy, I don't like seeing him go back because you just escaped not being seriously injured, but to see him go up there, and I was like, well, I hope he makes good money. Then after the first couple of rounds, I was like, well, he's gonna get third because Dylan Wright and Jess Pettis are so much faster than every other person in Canada. They had them covered without a doubt. They were winning by a minute. It was those two guys and then another race way behind them. And there was a guy I hadn't really heard of. I knew the name, but I didn't really know much about this Tanner Ward guy. Neither did Phil. Phil kind of dismissed him and really pissed him off in the opening press conference before the season. I'll tell you what, Tanner Ward is legit. This kid is badass, man, and he fought his heart out. Him and Phil both got a little lucky with all the issues between Dylan and Wright. By the way, how in the heck can you have that many DNFs? Like, I don't know what you're doing up there, HRC in Canada, but you need to fix it. You guys are worse than KTM with your quality control. The poor guy cannot finish a race, and then when the bike doesn't break, he throws it away. It's gnarly. And then Jess Pettis had that huge crash, and then, you know, his riding with a broken shoulder blade, and then him and Dylan Wright had their little beef. It set up Phil Nicoletti and Tanner Ward to battle for the title. And I was shocked. Tanner Ward looked like he had Phil covered. Tanner Ward got a glimpse of that title and just said, you know what? I'm going for it. He's fit, he's fast, and he was trying so hard. That second moto, he tried his hardest to run down a guy who has a lot of speed on him in Jess Pettis, and he was pushing, had that humongous crash. I think he's somewhat okay, but I'll tell you what, Tanner Ward, you might not be the Canadian champion, but you made a fan out of me. And Phil, great job. I'm so glad to see him get that championship. He is one of the good people in this sport, and I'm glad he's a Canadian champ. And Canadian Donations team, come on, man. You can't put Dylan Wright on there? Are you serious? I get it. Maybe it's because his bike won't finish, but he's clearly your second best 450 rider. You got Jess Pettis, Dylan Wright, and then everybody else. Put Tanner Ward on a 250 if you want to keep him on the team. Because your 250 option, I'm sorry, just not that good. If our guy Preston Kilroy, who's good, but he's not like a top guy in America, can go up there and just handle everybody and clinch the title, yeah, you're probably going to have a weak team with that 250 rider. With Tanner Ward, Jess Pettis, and the 250 guy, yeah, I don't know if they'll even make the main event. That's a bad pick. And if you have Jess Pettis and Dylan Wright, they're in. They are absolutely in the A main. But without those two guys, it's going to be a long Saturday for Team Canada, the Donations. Thank you, members. Appreciate everything. Coach Rob's giving away a $250 gift certificate this month. Then in December, somebody's going to win the new Power Sports XQi3 electric motorcycle. Thanks, guys. Here's your member of the day.
Let's start this off by saying, we got them. The illegal sale of American motorcycle racing. I present a case that reveals how the American Motorcyclist Association's 2008 sale of its racing properties constituted an illegal transfer of public trust into private hands. My name's B. Mazy, and I'm here to stir shit up. So I made a song for you guys. You know, it's crazy that the riders still gotta pay to race, even though these guys are just filling their pockets because they're money-hungry, greedy, stupid mother ex-circus owners, but still got the same mindset for the Supercross. Screw Feld, screw the AMA, and screw Rob Dingman.